Eddie changed the face of guitar, period. I don't think anybody's had as much an influence. I know this is probably a cliche, but since Jimi Hendrix, it was like every kid on the block was learning Van Halen licks. It was ridiculous. And as far as for me, it was in between all the technical prowess that Eddie had, there was a killer blues thing, which everybody that emulated it, but nobody ever got it. Nobody ever got that part. They had the hammer-ons, they had the tremolo bar stuff and all that kind of crap, but they never got the most important thing, was all the really tasty stuff that was in between, and just like some of the melodic stuff where the soul was coming from. Yeah. And so everybody in town had to learn how to play like Van Halen for eons after that, and that's just the way it was. So I mean, he contributed a lot, but you really have to get into every record and every solo and just start making, because there's a little statement there and everything. I just think all around it was a shot in the arm for guitar.
It was just beyond mind-blowing. I mean, you know, just hearing like going, and especially the tap, I go, that can't be a guitar. What is that? You know, and then, you know, now you hear the phase 90 on it now, and you know the effects and the delay and everything, just the whole 9 yards. It was just like beyond mind-blowing.
It sounded like nothing I'd ever heard before. It sounded like aliens or something coming out of that room, and I thought it was the best thing I'd ever heard in my life.
I think sound is as important as if you want it to be reproduced to enhance what you're playing, you know, it has to sound a certain way. There's a time and a place for a clean sound and everything. I use many different sounds, but over the top, it's definitely got to go to 12, so to speak. I like it to sound like it's basically dying, and then back it off a tad.
Right.
You know?
On the brink of
Yeah.
of
I've pretty much been known to push everything past the limit.
For sure.
And back it off a little bit, you know? It's kind of like a finely tuned race car, you know? They push everything to the limit. It's got to scream.
Mean Street off of Fair Warning, just because I think that riff is like so signature and so memorable and so dark and rowdy at the same time, and that was one of the first, you know, riffs that made me want to play guitar. I wanted to figure out how to make something sound like that and how to make it growl like that one does.
I'm probably the only one back then that would just take everything on the amp and turn full blast up. I remember when we played clubs, because, you know, I had that approach to my playing since about 74, you know, with the old amps I used to use. I turned them all the way up. People would tell me, you can't use them like that. I go, really? Watch this. You know, there are little tricks that I did to keep it from blowing, but, you know, all kinds of guitarists used to come and snoop around and see what the hell I was doing. But it was pretty basic, really. It was just turn all the way up. I still don't think people really do it the same way I do, you know, because I never ever used a stomp box to boost the signal. I never had a distortion pedal or anything. I always got, you know, the sound starts in your fingers, you know. So obviously I had to build my own guitar to convey what I was playing, and from there out of the cable into an amp head that would convey what the guitar is sending out, you know. So it's really kind of a chain thing.
Yeah.
You know, but bottom line, it starts with your ear. You know, if you had no concept of tone, then, you know, out comes bleh.